My goodness, is it beautiful. Bit of a breeze blowing about the ballpark, but really not a factor tonight. Temperatures today and really the rest of the Indians' time here will be in the 70s as the Indians in their final week of the regular season, we think, because it still counts as the regular season next Monday. If, say, the Indians in Tampa Bay are playing a play-in game to win the second wild card spot if Oakland doesn't falter. It could be a crazy, crazy weekend. That's the beauty of our game. The Indians come in already with one more win than they had all of last season. The Indians 92-64. They're still 4 games in back of Minnesota as far as the division title is concerned. And they're still, even with Tampa Bay in the loss column. Now the Tampa Bay Rays have one more win than the Indians because they were beating Boston last night, and Tampa Bay tonight is playing New York and losing to the Yanks 1-0 in the 4th inning. So we'll keep you up to date on all of that. White Sox concluding another losing season, and that's become the norm around here. They are 68-87 and not playing very well in the month of September either. Brian Honora is the home plate ump and crew chief. Mark Rippinger makes the calls at first, James Hoy at second, and Shane Livensparger is the umpire at third base. The dimensions here in what is a very home run friendly ballpark. Down the left field line, it is 330, 377 to left center, 400 to dead center, 372 to right center, and down the right field line, 335. This ballpark has become one of the best home run hitters parks in baseball. Now we don't have the hot, humid weather that you have sometimes in Chicago in the summer, but you put a good swing on it and it'll jump out of here. This is a great park to hit in. Tonight, the White Sox will go with an all bullpen game as Carson Fulmer will come out of the bullpen to start tonight. 25 years of age, 6 feet, 210. Fulmer, fastball, cut fastball, curve, and changeup. So again, we're seeing another ball club use a bullpen game against the Indians. Frankie Lindor leads it off, batting left-handed. Fulmer sets, fires, and the pitch is fouled upstairs for strike one, and we're underway here in Chicago. 74 degrees, the game time temp. Frankie Lindor batting .290, 31 homers, 39 doubles, 22 steals, and he's also knocked in 72. Lindor, switch hitter, batting left-handed, one of 4 lefties in the lineup to start the game. Fulmer is ready, and the pitch. And it's swung on and missed, pulled the string. And the count goes to 0-2. Fulmer faced the Indians once this year, and that was back in Cleveland on August 2nd. Went 2 innings, gave up 2 runs. This is his 4th career appearance against the Tribe. 1-0, 2.79 career ERA. The pitch, and Lindor fouling it back upstairs. We'll do it again at 0-2. Carson Fulmer hasn't had much of a year. He has a record of 1-1, but a bad earned run average of .513. This is his 20th appearance. He averages 8 strikeouts, but he also averages 6 walks per 9 innings. Now the pitch. Lindor takes low, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fulmer's been on that shuttle between AAA Charlotte and Chicago 4 different times. He's been with the White Sox, and this is just not what the White Sox envisioned when they made Carson Fulmer the 8th pick in the entire draft 4 years ago. Now the 1-2 pitch to Lindor. And he waves at it. Breaking ball got him. Chased one down and in, so Lindor strikes out to start tonight's ball game. That'll bring up the second hitter in the lineup, Oscar Mercado, the Indian center fielder. In the last 17 games is batting .357. And in those 17 games, Mercado 4 homers, 15 RBIs. Eloy Jimenez, the phenom in left, Leori Garcia in center. Daniel Polka in right. Jose Abreu at first. Yolmer Sanchez at second. Tim Anderson's at short. Yohan Moncada at third. And James McCann doing the catching. Oscar Mercado digs in. Right-hander against right-hander. The set, the pitch, and it's a fastball, and it zings in there for strike one at 94 miles per hour. Fulmer's next delivery, waved at, and the count goes to 0-2. Terry Francona talked about how difficult it is to face a ball club that throws an entire bullpen at you from inning number one. It usually means the hitter never sees the same pitcher twice. So advantage goes to the pitcher. Now, obviously, when you also use this many relief pitchers in one game, the odds are not all guys, say you use 7 or 8, are going to have their A game either. The pitch, Mercado pops one up, playable. First baseman Jose Abreu drifts into foul ground, 2 down. So there can be pluses and minuses to it from either side of the ledger. Here is Carlos Santana, switch hitter batting left-handed. 2 down in the Indians' first inning, no score. Indians have had a lot of trouble with the White Sox this year. They are 7-9 against the Chicago White Sox this year, and big reason why, if the Indians don't catch the Minnesota Twins, and that's doubtful, but a big reason why will be how the Indians have played against Chicago, period. Here's the set, here's the pitch, and Santana takes low, ball 1. Of course, against Detroit, the Indians were 18-1. Against Kansas City, the Indians were 12-7. And against Minnesota, the Indians were 10-9. So a winning record in the division against every team except these White Sox. Shift to the right side of the infield, and that pitch down low, 2-0. Santana hitting .288, team high 34 homers, team high 93 RBIs. For instance, Minnesota went 13-6 against Chicago, while the Indians have gone 7-9. Now the 2-0, and it's a little bit high, 3-0. When you look at the division itself, though, both the Indians and Twins almost identical records in the division. The Indians 21 games above 500 within the Central. Minnesota 20 above 500. Now the 3-0. Ball 4, it sails high, and Carlos Santana continues to draw those free passes as he is now third in the American League in drawing walks. For Santana, that walk number 107. So the Indians have a 2-out base runner. There is no score, and here's Yasiel Puig. He's finishing with a flourish. In the month of September, Puig is batting .366. No score, tried with a runner on, 2 down, first inning. Indians going with the navy blue jerseys and the red and white trim, plus the gray pants. White Sox in their home white with the black pinstriping. Fulmer is ready, and the pitch to Puig, and he waves at it, strike 1. Carson Fulmer was a phenom in college at Vanderbilt. They got to back-to-back College World Series championship games against Virginia. They went in 2014 and 15, and Carson Fulmer was a big part of those volunteer teams. That pitch, strike 2 called on the inside corner. And Carson Fulmer, by virtue of what he did in Nashville, got $3.5 million to become the White Sox first-round pick in 2015, the 8th pick in that entire draft. Now the set. Now the 2-strike pitch. In the dirt, it bounces. Nice block by McCann. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In those back-to-back title games, Vanderbilt won the title in 2014. Virginia beat Vandy the next year, 2015. Carson Fulmer trying to keep the Indians off the board here in inning number 1. Outfield deep and a bit toward left for Puig. Now the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, another great pick by McCann going to his right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carson Fulmer has bounced around as a starter and a reliever. And, well, when you get $3.5 million to sign, organizations will show more patience. The pitch. Inside, it missed. And now the string is out, full count. But eventually, money or no money, you've got to get it going. Now, Fulmer is still 25 years of age, but frustrating for him and the White Sox that by now they don't have a better handle on what he can or maybe cannot do on the big league level. No score, payoff pitch with 2 down. And it's hit foul to the third base side. And Puig stays alive at 3-2. Yasiel Puig hitting .267, 24 bombs, 84 RBIs between the Reds and Indians. Team he played for in back-to-back World Series, the Dodgers, are the favorites to win the National League pennant for the 3rd year in a row. Dodgers winners of 7 straight division crowns. Now the payoff pitch. Again, fouled off third base side. Puig stays alive at 3-2. Indians have 3 night games and then go to Washington. Now, Washington looks like they and the Brewers are going to lock down the 2 wild card spots in the National League. There isn't really anybody else that can catch them unless either team has a monumental collapse. Here's the set, the pitch, swing and a foul again, and the count stays full. The only big deal now is home field advantage. Washington starts the day 1 game better than Milwaukee in the loss column, and Washington already beat Philadelphia today in game 1 of a day-night doubleheader. Now, if Washington and Milwaukee have the same record, because the Brewers went 4-2 against the Nationals, the wild card game would be Tuesday night in Milwaukee. Washington doesn't seem to be all that concerned about whether they play that game at home or in Milwaukee. Here's the set, and again the payoff pitch to Puig. And he bounces one foul again, first base side, so Puig really having a good at-bat. And the count stays full. Max Scherzer is pitching tonight for Washington. He is scheduled to pitch against Milwaukee on that wild card game, if that's, again, the scenario, on Tuesday. So that would mean Scherzer would not pitch against the Indians on Sunday in the season finale. Washington, say they had to win Sunday to get home field advantage, they would say, that's fine, but we're not starting Scherzer. We're saving him for Milwaukee. Now the payoff pitch to Puig. And he again has a good swing. This time rips a single to right. And with Santana going on the pitch, he'll scamper to third. And a tremendous at-bat by Yasiel Puig. My goodness, Puig has an 8-game hitting streak now. And in those 8 games is hitting .500. 14 for 28. And you just saw a great example of why. He had a 10-pitch at-bat that resulted in a line drive single to right. And so the Indians, after 2 men were out, have a walk and a single. And now Jordan Luplow, starting against a right-hander, because a lefty is coming on next, Hector Santiago. Santiago expected to pitch more than one inning, so that's why Jordan Luplow is starting. Righty-righty matchup, the pitch, and Luplow takes a strike, fastball on the inside corner. So for the Indians this weekend, they won't face Steven Strasburg. He's pitching Thursday night for Washington against Philly, and they will not face, in all likelihood, Max Scherzer on Sunday, as he'll be saved for the wild card game on Tuesday. So a couple of breaks there for the Indians, one by virtue of the rotation and how it falls, and the other because of the upcoming playoff game. Throw to first, Puig back standing. Puig has 18 steals. Indians at the corners, 2 down. Well, if any team deserves a break down the stretch, it'd be the Indians.
Yeah, they kind of built up some equity going that way, didn't they, with all the struggles they had injury-wise and whatnot during the season.
Now the 0-1 pitch to Luplow, and it's downstairs, a ball, 1 strike. Luplow hitting .275, 13 homers, 36 RBIs. And suddenly Carson Fulmer's at 24 pitches. He couldn't put Puig away with 2 strikes. Puig had a 10-pitch at bat and a single. Prior to that, he walked Santana. So no score, but tried threatening. Runners at the corners, 2 down, the pitch. Luplow laid off. It was low, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Scherzer not pitching very well tonight. 4-1 Philly leads Scherzer and Washington. They're in the 4th inning. Scherzer's given up 4 runs on 3 hits. He's allowed 2 home runs. Now the 2-1. Inside, he almost hit him. 3-1 the count. Actually, Steven Strasburg has been Washington's best pitcher here over the last month or so, but Dave Martinez, Washington manager, intimated that Scherzer is going to be their guy, although in that wild card game, you may see Scherzer, Patrick Corbin, Steven Strasburg, 3-1 pitch, and it's low, and he walked him. How about that? So Carson Fulmer has continued to have command issues. 6 walks per 9 innings, and he's walked a pair here in the first inning after there were 2 men out. And Jose Ramirez will bat for the first time in exactly 1 month. White Sox meet on the mound. Right now, Detroit leads Minnesota 1-0 in the 6th. And New York still leads Tampa Bay 1-0 in the 4th. Of course, New York has something to play for. They want to nail down home field advantage. They and the Astros in that battle for home field advantage. All right, Jose Ramirez, wouldn't you know it? First time in the batter's box in a month after the broken hamate bone surgery. And he bats left-handed with the bases loaded, 2 down, no score. The set, the pitch, and it's down and away, ball 1. So Fulmer had a strikeout and a foul out to start the game. Walked Santana. Puig had a single on a 10-pitch at bat. Walked Luplow. And now behind in the count on Jose Ramirez, who normally has a very good eye at the plate. You just wonder if he might be a little anxious right now. Here's the set, the 1-0. And it's low, 2-0, and he did not chase 2 borderline pitches. And you heard Terry Francona talk about it on the manager's show. Just a real jolt for this ball club as pitching coach Don Cooper is making a mound visit. But the fact that Ramirez is able to play with pain. Now, he cannot hurt that right hand. The incision has healed. The bone itself is fine. You take out the broken hamate bone. But you're going to play with pain when you swing the bat. But obviously, Ramirez has a high pain tolerance. And most people that have a broken hamate bone are out 6 to 8 weeks. He was out 1 month. Had the surgery on August 26th, 2 days after he broke the hamate on a swing And here he is, 1 month later, bases loaded, 2 down, no score in the first. He awaits the 2-0 pitch. Here it comes. And he took a borderline strike on the outside corner. Ramirez, of course, had been the Indians' best hitter over the last 3 months. He's a big reason why the Indians got back into this thing. He's batting .254, 20 homers, 75 RBIs, despite an awful April and May. Now the 2-1. Outside, ball 3-1. And just his presence in the lineup. Fulmer pitches him differently than he would some Indians reserve.
Well, it bumps Reyes down a spot, Perez down a spot, lengthens the lineup.
Now he's in a hitter's count with the bases loaded, no score, 2 down in the first, and the 3-1 offering. A swing and a drive to deep right field, away, back and gone. How about that welcome back? A grand slam down the right field line. The little man with a big bat has come back to spark the Indians with a grand slam here in the first. He got a grand slam in New York on August 15th, and he got into a hitter's count and pounded a grand slam down the right field line, and the Indians have a 4-0 lead. All of this after there were 2 men out. Here's the DH, Franmil Reyes, the right-handed hitter. Oh, my goodness. You wouldn't be able to sell Hollywood on that script. Reyes fouling it off at the plate. Hollywood would have said, nah, too unbelievable. Miss a month, come back from hand surgery, don't have any in-game at-bats because there's no minor league games going on, and you hit a grand slam your first time up. No, sorry. Here's the pitch. Reyes takes. It's a strike on the outside corner, and the count is 0-2. And if you don't think the Indians didn't miss Jose Ramirez, then you don't follow baseball. Reyes hitting .243, 36 bombs, 79 ribbies. The pitch up and in, leans him back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. All of this with 2 outs, nobody on. Walk, single, walk, grand slam to right. Now the set, now the 1-2 delivery. A swing and a ground ball to short. Anderson gobbles it up, throws over. Inning is over. What an inning as Jose.
I am invested in this town.
Tomorrow morning, 9 to 10.
I'm here to stay.
On WTAM 1100.
What a sinking feeling if you're the Chicago White Sox and you haven't swung a bat yet tonight and you're facing Mike Clevenger down 4-0. Yikes. Mike Clevenger's pitching as well as anybody in baseball. And I don't care if your name is Justin Verlander or Garrett Cole, Clevenger has pitched just as well since he got healthy. Clevenger, of course, missed almost 2.5 months with that injury in the upper shoulder back region, but he's come back with a vengeance. And Clevenger, 6'4", 215 pounds, 28 years old, will face Leori Garcia. Clevenger works first base side of the rubber. Into the windup and the pitch. And Garcia looks at a fastball strike. Clevenger with a fastball in the upper 90s, curve, slider, changeup. White Sox have seen enough of him this year, even though he hasn't had a decision. The pitch, and it's outside 1-1. In 2 games against Chicago, Mike Clevenger has allowed 2 runs in 14 innings and given up 3 hits and has 21 strikeouts in 14 innings. The pitch waved at, 1-2 the count. And this is a ball club that Their 11th commandment is, thou shalt swing at anything, even on the Sabbath. Clevenger into the windup and the 1-2 delivery. A swing and a miss. High heater got him. So he strikes out Garcia to start tonight's game. The White Sox have 200 more strikeouts as an offense than does their opponent. The White Sox offense has 200 fewer walks than their opponents. So they strike out 200 more times. They walk 200 fewer times. That's a bad, bad combo. The pitch in there, a strike to Anderson, who's got a chance to become the third White Sox to win a batting title. He leads the league in hitting right now at .334, 18 homers, 56 RBIs. The pitch, Anderson waves at it, 0-2. Only Luke Appling and Frank Thomas have won batting titles in White Sox history. And Anderson's got a chance to be the third. Tribe up 4-0. Clevenger the wind and the pitch. A swing and a miss. With this game, Mike, see Mike Clevenger strike out 27. 2 quick outs. White Sox again swinging at everything. Jordan Luplow in left. Oscar Mercado in center. Yasiel Puig in right. Carlos Santana at first. Mike Freeman at second. Frankie Lindor at short. Jose Ramirez back at third. And Roberto Perez catching. Those guys might be able to put the gloves on the top of their heads tonight like you see in a Little League game. And just holler, hey, batter, swing. Abreu fouling it up upstairs, strike one. Rosie, when you look at the White Sox lineup, Garcia, Abreu, Moncada, Jimenez, McCann, all have more than 100 strikeouts individually than walks. The wind and the pitch, it's up and in, 1-1. They're all over 100 strikeouts, but they have more than 100 strikeouts more than they have walks. So there's no balance whatsoever.
It's hard to get a rally going when that happens. You strike out a lot, nobody's getting on base.
The pitch, a swing and a foul to the third base side, 1-2. Well, the White Sox have scored the third fewest runs in the American League. They've hit the third fewest homers. They've hit the third fewest doubles. They have the fewest walks. And they have the fourth most strikeouts as an offense. And those are just ugly, ugly numbers. The pitch swung on a missed. He chased a breaking ball in the other batter's box. And the White Sox swinging at it.
TAM 1100.
Well, this guy's been around a long time, and he's still pitching. This was the guy that was supposed to start, but then the White Sox got a little cute. Decided to start a reliever instead of going with Hector Santiago, and it blows up in their face. 4-0. The Indians have the lead. This starting a reliever has worked somewhat for certain teams, but too many times teams get too cute, outthink themselves. Start the guy that's going to give you the most innings. No one's changing their batting lineup to start a game based on a reliever going one inning. Hector Santiago delivers outside and high, ball one. And who knows, Santiago's the kind of guy he could give you 5-6 strong innings. Now the wind and the pitch, and it's inside and low, 2-0. But now he comes in trailing 4-0 after Carson Fulmer gave up 4 runs on 2 hits, walked 2, struck out a batter, gave up the grand slam to Jose Ramirez. Roberto Perez swings and misses. So far this year, Santiago, with the White Sox, a 5.23 ERA. He was also in the National League where he had a 6.75 ERA. The pitch down and in, 3-1. That's not a very good year. 17 games. He had made 2 starts, but 17 outings and an ERA this year of 6. The pitch swung on, whacked to deep left. It's gone. Roberto Perez hits number 24 on a line drive blast to left. And a rare pull-side home run by Roberto Perez. And here we go, 5-0 Indians. And this continues a losing trend for the White Sox. The White Sox at home this year have been out-homered in their own ballpark by 53 home runs. And tonight, Jose Ramirez a grand slam to right. Roberto Perez a line shot to left. Here's Mike Freeman. He's at second base, batting .269, 4 homers, 23 RBIs. Santiago's pitch. Freeman takes up and in, a ball. Hector Santiago. Into the set position now. And the delivery is swung on. A little loop job. Center field. Garcia got a late break. On a dead sprint, reaches out and snags it. 1 down. Boy, they tell us Roberto Perez's line drive homer went 420 feet. Top of the order, Frankie Lindor, switch hitter batting, left-handed. Lyft has thousands of friendly qualified drivers. They know the city and they want to get you to and from the game worry-free. No matter where you're going, there's a Lyft waiting to take you there. 5-0 Indians, second inning. Lindor struck out to start the game. Then Mercado fouled out. And then Fulmer had nothing but disaster from that point on. The pitch. Breaking ball strike. Carlos Santana walked. Yasiel Puig had a 10-pitch at bat and single to right. That was a big at bat in that inning. Then Jordan Luplow walked, and the biggest at bat, Jose Ramirez, a grand slam down the right field line. Lindor grounds one on the right side. Knee sliding, stopped by Sanchez. Second baseman gets up to throw out Lindor. Nice play by Sanchez moving toward first. Went to a knee slide to Pickett. Kind of a pop-up slide at that. And gets Frankie Lindor for out number 2. Now Oscar Mercado fouled out his first time up. So the Indians with a 5-0 lead. Base is empty, 2 down, second inning. And here's Mercado against Hector Santiago. Boy, and with Mike Clevenger on the hill tonight, long way to go, but boy, are the Indians in a great spot. The set, the pitch, and it's down and in, ball 1. Minnesota Twins probably never realized how tough it would be to win a division title. They lead Detroit 4-1 in the 7th inning. 4-run 7th. Minnesota's not going to be losing many, if any, games this week. Now the set, the 1-0 pitch. And it's way outside, ball 2, 2-0. But the Indians are forcing the Twins to go all out. The Twins can't really sit here and set up their rotation. They're getting close, but they're not there yet, as their magic number over the Indians is 3 to clinch. The set, the pitch, a swing and a foul back, 2-1 the count. Yankees and Houston each with 102 wins. Twins have 96, Oakland 94, Tampa 93, Cleveland 92. Tribe up 5-0, second inning. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss, good change. And the count 2-2. National League, Dodgers pretty much have it wrapped up for home field in the National League. They have 100 wins. Next is Atlanta, 96. Then St. Louis with 90. Here's the set. Here's the 2-2 to, well, time called now as Mercado will back out and reset it. Try it again. Here it comes in the dirt. Ball 3, full count. See your local Toyota dealer and check out the aggressive new 2019 Toyota RAV4. Street savvy and off-road capable. RAV4 has redefined what a compact SUV can be. For all Toyota offers, go to buyatoyota.com. Now the payoff pitch. Swung on a little flare into shallow left, backpedaling. The shortstop, Tim Anderson, gathers it in, and the inning is over.
AM 1100 can now be heard on 106.9 FM.
Well, Mike Clevenger now working with a monumental lead for him. 5-0. The Indians leading this. They're only in the second inning, but as good as Mike Clevenger has been, this looks about as best case scenario as you can get. Clevenger made 11 pitches in the first inning, struck out the side. Mike Clevenger, over his last 15 starts, is 11-1 with a 189 earned run average. Yoan Moncada batting left-handed. Switch hitter takes a fastball strike in on the hands. Moncada, one of many White Sox that is finishing strong. The wind and the pitch, and he lays off the high heat, and the count 1-1. Moncada is third in the league in hitting at .316, 24 homers, 77 ribbies. He takes downstairs ball 2-1. But he's one of many White Sox that do not hit Mike Clevenger. He is 1 for 10 lifetime against Clevenger. The pitch swung on, fouled upstairs, third base side, 2-2. But Clevenger looks like he's throwing at 500 miles an hour. He is strong, confident, and he really looks locked in. Here's the wind and the 2-2. Up high, full count. And if you want to start speculating, Clevenger's next day to pitch would be Sunday, if needed. Now the windup. Now the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's 4 in a row. Now, again, the week will unfold as it unfolds, but say the Indians had a playoff spot wrapped up. Now you've got your choice as to who do you want to pitch the wild card game. Shane Bieber pitches tomorrow night, so his next day to pitch would be Monday. The American League wild card game is Wednesday, and right now that would be in Oakland if everything holds as is. The wind and the pitch, and it's swung on, banged up the middle on the ground. Behind second, Freeman fields it and throws out the young phenom. Jimenez hit it hard, but he's out number 2. We saw him in Cleveland. Everything he hit was hit hard. But this would put the Indians in a good position right now in that, okay, if you had to play a play-in game on Monday to get to the wild card game, you could pick Bieber because it'd be his day to pitch if Clevenger had to pitch Sunday. The pitch is a little low and outside the ball. Then if you won that play-in game, you'd have Clevenger ready to go Wednesday, say in Oakland. Now the 1-0 pitch outside, ball 2-0. Nothing's ever ideal. That's why Terry Francona said you'd love to have a playoff spot wrapped up so you could set up your pitching, but the Indians' pitching depth really becomes advantageous now. The next pitch, check swing. It was low to Zach Collins, the rookie catcher, DHing, hitting 143, 3 homers, 8 ribbies, 5-0 Indians, 2 outs, nobody on. Clevenger rocks and fires. Collins takes, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Ball sailed high on him. So the Indians, Mike Clevenger has given up his first free pass. And now James McCann having a nice season, batting .275, 17 homers, 57 RBIs. Aaron Savali will pitch here on Thursday night. And so he'd be a guy, too, that would be on full rest if there was a wild card game that you were in. And in a wild card game, all bets are off. You might see the Indians go with multiple starters, not do this ridiculous bullpen game. Here's the set and the pitch, and it's on the outside corner, but you might back up one starter with another starter, hoping maybe one guy would go 6 innings, maybe the other guy finishes it.
I mean, those are your best pitchers, Clevenger, Bieber. You'd love to have them in the same game if it came to that.
5-0 Indians, 2 down in the second, runner at first, the pitch, and it's outside a ball, 1-1 the count. Tampa Bay has come back now to tie New York, 1-1 in the 6th inning, and Kevin Kiermaier's homer. He's had a rough September. Minnesota still leads Detroit 4-1, 7th inning in Motown. Now the set, now the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Washington beat Philly 4-1 in game 1 today. So their magic number to clinch a wild card spot, first or second, is 2. And in the nightcap, Philly leads Washington and Max Scherzer 4-2 after 5 innings. Here's the set. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Heater got him. Boy, Clevenger is just completely overmatching the White Sox hitters. 5 strikeouts through 2 innings. 5-0 Indians on the Cleveland Clinic. Carlos Santana walked and scored in the first. He'll bat right-handed here in the third. Santiago the set and the pitch. And it's down low, a ball. Santiago got the 4-run rally going. He drew a 2-out walk in the first. Then Yasiel Puig had the 10-pitch at bat and a single. Jordan Luplow walked to load the bases. Santana with a high drive foul left side, and the count 1-1. After the bases were loaded, Jose Ramirez put himself into a hitter's count and whacked a grand slam down the right field line in his first at bat in a month since having the broken hamate and then the hand surgery. Roberto Perez solo homer to left in the second. 5-zip tribe, third inning. The pitch, and it's waved at. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, getting a big lead like the Indians did early, too, can really allow some people to just kind of settle in, relax. They've had enough high wire acts here over the last 4 months. The pitch. Swung on, fouled back and out of play. Let's pause for a station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
Rob Bailey in the newsroom. House launching impeachment inquiry into President Trump. More after the game on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
Tom Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, Nick Hepner, and Brian Motze on a gorgeous Chicago night. Indians 5, White Sox 0, third inning. Now the 1-2 delivery. And it is swung on a miss. Santana chased the pitch down and away. Santiago gets his first strikeout. 1 down here in the third. Here's Yasiel Puig. That 10-pitch at bat, resulting in a single to right field in the first inning. This is the Liberty Ford Grand Slam giveaway inning. The Indians hit a grand slam here in the third. Then Rachel Begley of Cleveland will win the Ford Mustang convertible from Liberty Ford. Good luck to Rachel Begley from Cleveland. Unfortunately, Jose Ramirez's grand slam came in the first. 4th grand slam for the Indians this year, 2 by Jose. Now the set and the pitch to Puig. And he checks and takes a strike on the inside corner. Of course, the big news here in Chicago has nothing to do with the White Sox. It's all about Joe Madden and the Cubs. Cubs lead Pittsburgh 1-0 tonight in the 7th inning. Here's the set. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Cubs have lost 6 in a row. And they're on the verge of playoff elimination, as the Cubs right now are 4 games in back of Milwaukee in the loss column for the second wild card spot. Now the 0-2, high, 1-2. And most feel that Joe Madden is going to be given the pink slip after winning a World Series in 2016, going to the playoffs the next 2 years, but missing out on the playoffs this year. And sure sounds like Joe Madden and his days at Wrigley are about over. Now the 1-2 pitch. Puig with a rocket toward the gap in left center. It'll take one bounce, go up against that wall, and I don't know why the left fielder's raising his hands. Puig is at second with a double. Maybe a fan reached out and touched it, but it's a double for Yasiel Puig, his 29th. Looked like the ball was still in play out there in left center, but Yasiel Puig with a single to right, and I mean smoked a double to left center. You know, what happened was that ball kind of got stuck. It really wasn't stuck. It was at the base of the wall. Not sure why that would be considered stuck, because the ball was just sitting there waiting to be picked up. Whatever. Puig wasn't going to go for three. Here's Jordan Luplow, walked and scored in the first. Santiago, the left-hander, is ready. And the pitch. And it's inside, a ball. The big story in the National League right now is the incredible run the Milwaukee Brewers have been on. And they've done it without the National League's MVP and Christian Yelich. Here's the set. Here is the next delivery. And it's a breaking ball strike, 1-1. Milwaukee leads Cincinnati tonight 3-2 in the eighth inning. The Brewers have won 15 out of their last 17 without Christian Yelich. Now the set. Now the 1-1 pitch to Luplow. Inside. Jumps back 2-1. And it just seems to be a foregone conclusion now. It'll be Milwaukee against Washington in the wild card National League game next Tuesday night. Now the set and the 2-1 pitch to Luplow. Inside, almost hit him, 3-1. I guess on paper you would favor Washington because of their dominant starting pitching compared to Milwaukee, but who knows in that goofy one-game wild card shootout.
Well, you never want to face a team on a roll, and Emma without Yelich sounds familiar, doesn't it? A team loses one of their best players, and yet the other players in their own way pick things up enough where the team can have really good success.
Milwaukee was a win away from the World Series. Jordan Luplow is going to be looked at by Indians trainer James Quinlan. He kind of spun out of there to avoid getting hurt. They want to make sure he didn't twist something or maybe hurt his rib cage or whatnot, but Tito and Quinlan will head back to the first base dugout, and Luplow will stay in the game. Luplow hitting .275, 12 of his 13 homers against Southpaws. That's what Santiago is. As he awaits the 3-1 delivery. Here it comes. A swing and a foul upstairs, full count. The National League wild race really fizzled. Looked like mad chaos, and now it's basically two teams. No one's catching Milwaukee or Washington. So the only drama is who will host that game. And Milwaukee has the much easier schedule. And they've got the tiebreaker advantage over Washington. The pitch down low. Luplow's walked twice tonight. Washington has to finish a game better than Milwaukee. If they finish with the same record, the Brewers win the tiebreaker, and that game will be at Miller Park. And you know, with that building, where they can close the roof, that can get rather ominous for the visiting team. Here's Jose Ramirez. Hit that grand slam down the right field line in the first inning. That was left-handed. That was the tougher way for him to swing right now. It's easier to swing right-handed because the surgery was on the right hand, or when you bat right-handed, the top hand. Now he bats right-handed, and he drives it to deep left. Are you kidding? Way out of here. 2/3 of the way up the bleachers in left center. Jose Ramirez, 2 swings of the bat, 7 RBIs. And Steven Spielberg just sent the script back and said, no way. I have a reputation and credibility to think about. No one would believe this story. Unbelievable for Ramirez, and folks, they'll need multiple tape measures to let us know what that one traveled. And the Indians now lead it 8-0. Franmil Reyes takes a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Well, I guess Jose wasn't kidding when he said, look, I'm good to go. Indians with an 8-0 lead. The little man with a homer from each side of the plate. Reyes takes on the outside corner. It's a called strike, and the count 1-1. As tonight, Jose Ramirez, as the pitch is down low 2-1, has his second grand slam of the season and his third multi-homer game of the season. Here's the pitch, waved at 2-2. At Yankee Stadium, when the Indians won 19-5, he had, in that ball game, a grand slam and a 2-run homer. In his other multi-homer game in July against Kansas City, a pair of solo homers. Reyes takes, it's down low, and the count is full.
All right, Tom, you were mentioning the only question was how much pain would he have to deal with?
The payoff pitch, Reyes fouling it upstairs, will do it again at 3-2.
I think it's safe to say he's feeling no pain tonight as he has been on pitches and driving them a long, long way further than we saw even in his batting practice session over the weekend. He is locked in.
Now the payoff pitch to Reyes. And it's strike 3 called on the inside corner. Santiago gets him looking. Again, when you think of what the Indians have overcome this year, first off, no team in baseball has lost a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, and no team in baseball has lost a player outside of Milwaukee as good as Ramirez from an offensive standpoint. Jose Ramirez finished 3rd in the balloting for most valuable player in the American League in each of the last 2 years. And he has a career-high 7 RBIs. First pitch, strike delivered to Roberto Perez. He swatted a solo homer to left off Santiago last inning. Santiago's come in and given up 2 homers. The pitch. A swing and a little bloop job into shallow right. Sanchez is out, and it is in between he and Polka. Polka tried to make a sliding catch. Ball hit grass, and it's a single. Polka, not a good right fielder, had a long way to come, tried to make a sliding catch, and Sanchez, the second baseman going out, peeled off at the last moment, and that ball hit grass, and Roberto Perez gets a gift hit, and now Mike Freeman, the batter. 8-0 Indians here in the 3rd inning with a runner at first and 2 down. Freeman flied out to center, his first time up. Santiago had 40 pitches here in 2 innings of relief work. The pitch, and it's inside a ball. Carson Fulmer started. He almost made 40 pitches himself in the first inning. 8-0 with Mike Clevenger on the mound. The pitch. And a breaking ball strike. And the count on Mike Freeman. A ball and a strike.
This has to be one of those nights down in St. Pete where they're looking at the scoreboard saying, what?
The 1-1 tapped foul at the plate by Freeman, 1-2.
Now, what is going on up there in Chicago? And they watch. Both teams watch for sure.
Well, Jose Ramirez suddenly has 22 homers and 82 RBIs. And shows you what his absence meant to this club. Now the 1-2. Curveball swung on, banged in the hole and into left center. A base hit by Mike Freeman. Perez will stop at second. Top of the order, and Frankie Lindor, he'll bat right-handed. The switch hitter has struck out and grounded out. Ironically, Jose Ramirez would have been hitting fifth tonight. That's where he's hit most of the year. But Terry Francona said, he hasn't played in a month. Let's drop him a spot, hit him sixth. He may hit sixth for a while longer. Grand slam to right, 3-run homer to left, and the Indians lead 8-0 here in the third inning with 2 out, 2 on. The set, the pitch, and it's over, a called strike. Santiago's ready, checks the runners, and deals. And the pitch swung on, foul back, 0-2 on Lindor. Santiago, the 2-strike pitch to Lindor. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a breaking ball. But Jose Ramirez hit another home run, a 3-run blast to left. And the Indians are pulverizing the White Sox.
8-10, mornings and afternoons on WTAM 1100.
Well, Jose Ramirez has set a new career high with 7 RBIs, and he's only had 2 at-bats. And the Indians are crushing the White Sox here in the early going, 8-0. Bottom of the third, Yolmer Sanchez, the switch hitter, batting left-handed. Sanchez, a .254 hitter, 2 homers, 41 RBIs. Meanwhile, Mike Clevenger looks unhittable. 5 strikeouts, a ground out, and a walk. Sanchez, .254 hitter, couple of homers, 41 ribbies, and the pitch is outside a ball. At Everstream, the business-only fiber network, they believe that business deserves better. Join the business-only fiber network. The pitch, a swing and a weak pop-up. Third baseman Jose Ramirez, right near the bag, makes the catch, 1 down. Don't forget that Everstream means faster fiber and better business. 8-0 Indians. Here's Daniel Polka. What a nightmarish season for Polka. A year ago as a rookie, 27 home runs for Chicago. This year, he got off to such a bad start. He was sent to AAA Charlotte, where he had 27 home runs on the AAA level. Left-handed slugger takes high. But my goodness, in his time with the White Sox, he's batting .070. 5 hits in 71 at-bats. The pitch, he fouls it back, 1-1 the count. And he strikes out every other at-bat. And this is a guy that they need his power, but just can't live with that many strikeouts. Tribe up 8-0, third inning, the wind, the pitch. And it sails high, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Clevenger is trying to match last year. He was 13-8 a year ago. Chance to be 13-3 tonight. Polka fouling it upstairs. and the count levels at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Minnesota now leads Detroit 4-2, 8th inning in Motown. Clevenger into the wind. Here it comes. And it's high, full count. Yankees Tampa, 1-1 ball game. They're in the 6th inning. Tampa had 8,000 fans last night for their game with Boston. The payoff, a swing and a foul upstairs, still a full count. Somebody is going to have to explain why that area deserves a baseball team. If they announced the attendance at 8,000, that probably means they only had about 4,000 in the ballpark.
It's frightening to think if there is a play-in game on Monday what the crowd would be.
Now the payoff, a swing and a pop-up. Again, the infield has a play. Mike Freeman, the second baseman, in shallow center, grabbing it. 2 down. But because that play-in game, you obviously are selling tickets from Sunday night until the game, and nobody down there gives a hoot. Well, you wonder, I mean, would they basically make the tickets $10 a pop just to get some atmosphere in there, or if you dress like a grouper, you get in free?
That might work.
Now, would you go Cajun, blackened, or just grilled? 2 down, Tribe up 8-0. Here's Leori Garcia. The leadoff hitter takes down an in-ball 1. I mean, it would be pathetic.
You could see 4,000 people at that game.
Sure you could.
Absolutely.
Now the windup, now the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, lashed to left field, back and toward the line is Luplow, and he can't catch it. Ball takes a bounce, goes up against the wall for a double. Garcia, nice at bat. Drove one the other way, his 27th double. So Garcia has the first hit. White Sox have a runner at second, 2 down. Indians on top, 8-0 here in the 3rd. Tim Anderson struck out his first time up. Talking about Anderson trying to win the batting title. He came in tonight leading the league at .334. That is 5 points better than the Yankees' DJ LeMahieu. Here is the set and the pitch to Anderson. And it's swung on a weak bouncer up the middle. Lindor near second, has to hurry the throw, not in time. Well, that ball just wasn't hit hard enough. Anderson runs well. He's trying to win a batting title, so you can imagine how hard he's running now, and he has a 2-out infield single. Garcia to third, Anderson at first, and Jose Abreu, the batter, struck out his first time up. So after 2 outs, back-to-back hits, and the best White Sox hitter at the plate, Abreu is leading the American League with 121 RBIs, batting .281, 33 bombs, 35 doubles. Righty-righty matchup. Clevenger's pitch, and it's low, ball 1. The last and only Chicago White Sox to ever lead the American League in RBIs was Dick Allen, 1972. Boy, with all the great teams the White Sox have had down through the years and all the great hitters, hard to believe Dick Allen was it, but not Frank Thomas, not any other great White Sox that you can think of. Dick Allen. Boy, there was a guy that quirky might be a polite way of describing him. The pitch, down and away, ball 2, 2-0.
Didn't he swing one of the heaviest bats in baseball? I remember reading that when I was a kid. Way heavier than others in the game. But yeah, kind of a checkered career off the field.
8-0 Indians. White Sox at the corners. 2 down in the 3rd. 2-0 the count on Abreu. Clevenger's ready. Here it comes. And it's in the dirt. Abreu checked, and the count 3-0. Now you look at the names and some of the numbers. Seems like Chicago should be better offensively than what they are, but just too inconsistent. They're a lot like Philadelphia. When they're hitting home runs, yeah, they can hurt you, but too many times they're not walking and they're striking out, not making contact. Now the 3-0. Swing and a ground ball to third, backhanded by Ramirez. Sets, throws high, and a leap and a jump down and a tag of the bag on the foot of Santana before Abreu got there. So good play on both ends at the...
Indians with the big lead as we head to the fourth inning here in Chicago. 8-0 Tribe. And Oscar Mercado will lead things off facing Hector Santiago. Signed as a free agent after he was granted his release by the Mets midway through the season. White Sox needing arms to get through the year. Here's the pitch, and it's swung on and fouled off into the White Sox dugout. There's some promising aspects to the rebuild for Chicago. Some of their young hitters really starting to make progress. And some of their young pitchers, Lucas Giolito and Dylan Cease in particular. Next pitch to Mercado, low and in. And the count's now 1-1. But overall, pitching-wise, they have a long way to go, and they need a ton more depth, especially starting pitching-wise. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Count's now 1-2 on Mercado, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He has popped to first and popped to short in his 2 trips. 8 runs, 7 hits for the Indians. No runs, 2 base hits for the White Sox. The 1-2 inside for a ball. And the count's now 2-2 on Mercado. Carlos Santana is next, and then Yasiel Puig in the top half of the fourth inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and chopper to the second baseman. Sanchez digs it out, throws on to first. Close play, but Mercado's retired. And there's one down in the top half of the fourth inning. Brings up Carlos Santana. Visit your Northern Ohio Buick and GMC dealers. They still have those exceptional offers on their 2019 models. Here's Carlos Santana. Santana has walked and struck out in 2 trips. Santiago delivers, and his pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Indians struck early, first inning. Jose Ramirez, returning to the lineup, hit a grand slam in his first at-bat. And that put the Tribe in front. The 0-1, outside and high. 1-1. Then Roberto Perez went deep, leading off the second inning. And Ramirez hit another home run, this time in the third, a 3-run shot. And that's where we stand, 8-0 Indians. Next pitch to Santana, catches the inside corner, good breaking ball. And the count's now 1-2. Santana asked for time as Santiago took too much. Now the lefty into the windup. Here's his pitch. Low and outside. Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton at the south side of Chicago. Nick Hepner, our engineer here in the booth. Brian Matze back at Command Center. Great night for a ball game here on the south side. The 2-2. Fastball up high. 3-2. 74 degrees at game time. Clear skies. Breeze blowing across from right to left. Now the payoff pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Santana was backing away, but that caught the corner, and he's a strikeout victim. The third recorded, make that the fourth for Hector Santiago. 2 up, 2 down for the Indians, and Yasiel Puig will step in. He's 2 for 2, a single and a double. He's now hit safely in 8 straight, batting over 500 during that time. So to say that Puig is coming on when it counts the most, that would be a true statement. He has really swung the bat well here heading down the stretch. The pitch to him, swung on, line drive, right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Puig will make the turn. He's trying for 2. Here's the throw by Palka. It's offline, and Puig is in. with a stand-up double. 3 hits for Puig, including a pair of doubles. And the hit parade continues for the Indians. And it is not just singles. Puig with the 2 doubles. 3 home runs on the night for the Indians. And we are only in the top half of the 4th inning. Jordan Luplow steps in. He's been up twice. He has walked twice. Each time he's reached, he's later come around to score. Indians have scored in each inning so far. Trying to keep that going here in the 4th. Pitch to Luplow, up and in for ball 1. Tribe came in, tied in the loss column with Tampa Bay for that second and final wild card playoff spot. Top 7 down in St. Pete. Yankees and Rays still tied at 1. Now the 1-0 pitch to Luplow. Swing and a miss. Big cut, didn't get it. 1-1 the count. Both the Indians and the Rays are 2 back of Oakland in the loss column, and Oakland is in Anaheim to open a series against the Angels tonight. One and one the count on Luplow. Here's Santiago's pitch. Fastball upstairs for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Luplow came in hitting over 300 since returning from a hamstring injury that had him out for much of the month of August, but came back in early September and has swung the bat well and now earning more playing time. The 2-1. Fastball up and in, ball 3. Well, walks have really been an issue for the White Sox tonight. Carson Fulmer walked 2 in his only inning to start the game. Santiago trying to avoid his second walk. Here comes his 3-1 pitch. Swung on, popped him up, foul, and back out of play behind home plate. We'll do it again on 3-2. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night, another 8:10 first pitch. Shane Bieber on the mound for the Indians tomorrow night, looking for win number 16. He'll be opposed by lefty Ross Detweiler, who is 2-5 for the White Sox. Now the 3-2 pitch. Up high, ball 4. Luplow draws his 3rd walk on the night. So a productive night going for Luplow. 2nd walk allowed by Santiago. And now it's Jose Ramirez. What a night in his return to the lineup after missing a month with hamate bone surgery. A grand slam first time up, 3-run shot last time, last inning. Here's the pitch from Santiago. Breaking ball on the inside corner, strike 1. Career high, 7 runs driven in. 4th time in his career he's hit a home run from both sides of the plate. And now with 22 home runs on the season. Here's the pitch to him. Outside and high. Count 1-1 on Ramirez. Boy, the slow start, the first 2 months that were such a struggle for Jose Ramirez, doesn't even seem like that was this season. Now the 1-1. Down low, 2-1, and Santiago deservedly so, even with a couple of men on already, pitching Ramirez very carefully. How about that? No easing into it for Jose Ramirez. Switch hitter, right side. Here's Santiago's pitch. Outside, ball 3. Franmil Reyes waiting on deck. As again, Santiago trying to really work the edges here as much as he can on Ramirez. The left-hander's ready, checks the runners. Here's his pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. 3-2 the count. And Ramirez got to feel beneficial seeing some pitches this at bat. Not that it mattered in his last two. Didn't see many at all, and simply went up there hacking away with great results. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Tried to check his swing, couldn't do it, and that's strike 3. Side retired. Indians for the first. Time for the Cleveland Clinic Caregiver Shout Out, and the good folks at the clinic want to thank all of the caregivers who have made Cleveland Clinic the #1 hospital in all of Ohio once again. Indians with an 8-0 lead as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. We are in Chicago, South Side, home of the White Sox, as they are finishing another season well below the 500 mark. There'll be improvements from a year ago as Yohan Moncada steps in, first pitch swinging, taps one to the shortstop. Lindor behind the bag at second, fires onto first in time for the out, and Moncada's retired quickly. 1 down, and that'll bring up Eloy Jimenez. White Sox are on pace to go 71-91. Right now they're at a 7-game improvement from a year ago, and this was a team that was only 2 games under 500 at the All-Star break. Eloy Jimenez takes a pitch inside for ball 1. So the second half has clearly been a disappointment. They thought they were on their way and might even be able to make some noise, as the Indians were not that far ahead at that point in the season. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, popped him up, foul. First base side, it's bending toward the seat. Santana's over, but that one hits the netting down the line. And when we say down the line, this ballpark here in Chicago, they have netting all the way down both foul lines to protect the fans from line drives into the stands. They were one of the first, if not the first, to do that, stretching all the way down the lines, almost to the foul poles, if not right on the foul poles. Here's the 1-1 to Jimenez. Trying to check his swing, couldn't do it. On a good hard slider that time from Mike Clevenger. 1 down, base is empty. Indians with an 8-0 lead, and Mike Clevenger's on cruise control tonight. Really looks sharp. Here's his 1-2. Fastball up high. Count now 2-2 on Jimenez. Now Clevenger with the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. He catches Jimenez looking. Strikeout number 6 for Mike Clevenger. 2 up, 2 down for the White Sox. Zach Collins will be the batter. Collins walked his first time up. Wow Internet has no data caps and super fast speeds up to 1 gig, all at a great price. Get Internet 100 for $24.99 per month right now. Offer details at wowway.com. First pitch is in there for a strike to Collins. 0-1 the count on the DH tonight for the White Sox. Here's the 0-1. That's outside, and it's 1-1 on Collins, a catcher by trade, but when we have seen the White Sox, he's been mainly a DH. James McCann doing great work behind the plate. The 1-1 swung on, line drive, base hit into right field. Getting to it quickly is Puig as Collins makes the turn, but Puig with that great arm fires it in quickly. And Collins wisely holds at first base with a 2-out single. That brings up James McCann, an all-star. And that's after a tough season last year with the Tigers, and his career with Detroit, the team that drafted, developed him, and made him a regular most of the time, came to an end. They did not tender him a contract. And he was saying he was out of work for about 3 hours before the White Sox called and said, hey, sign with us. And it has worked out extremely well for him. Right-handed hitting catcher. The pitch to him. Swing and a miss, strike 1. McCann with career highs and doubles with 26, home runs with 17, 57 RBIs, that's a career best. So to say the change of scenery has done him a world of good might be an understatement. Collins off the bag at first. Here's Clevenger's pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut, didn't get it. 0-2 the count on McCann. 8-0 Indians lead. Out hitting the White Sox 8-3. We're in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Now the set by Clevenger. Here comes his pitch. Swung on, foul tip, hung on to by Roberto Perez. That's strike 3, and the side is retired. Number 7 in terms of strikeouts for
EAM 1100.
Indians leading 8-0 as this ball game heads to the 5th inning. And leading things off for the Tribe, Franmil Reyes. Reyes, 0 for 2. He's bounced to short and struck out in his 2 trips. Bottom third of the Tribe lineup facing Hector Santiago, who delivers a breaking ball for strike 1. Santiago came on to start the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, line down the left field line. Fair ball headed to the corner. Extra bases for Reyes, who motors into second base with a stand-up double. First base hit tonight for Franmil Reyes. And for Reyes, that is double number 18 on the season. So the Indians with a leadoff base runner here in the 5th, and Roberto Perez will step in. Perez has homered and singled in 2 trips as his sizzling September continues. What a month it has been for Perez, as he now has 24 home runs. Here's the pitch to him. Fastball high and outside, ball 1. Perez came into play tonight in the month, hitting .340. He now has 3 home runs and 13 runs driven in this month. And that was after a slow August, but it's gotten that second wind here down the stretch. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball down low. 2-0 the count on Perez. Time for the injury report. It's presented by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. First the pitch to Perez, with Reyes off the bag at second. The 2-0. Low and in, ball 3. Now Santiago has done the bulk of his work out of the pen this season. He's up over 75 pitches now, after coming on in that 2nd inning. But no one loosening behind him in the pen. The White Sox determined to get some length from him. The 3-0 pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. On that injury report, Jason Kipnis had his surgery on the hamate bone today in New York. And he would rejoin the team at some point down the stretch here, just to be with the ball club and into the postseason. The 3-1 swung on, and there's a high fly ball deep down the right side. It is slicing foul. Foul ball into the right field corner. 3-2 the count on Perez. And with Kipnis, same timetable as Jose Ramirez, 5 to 7 weeks, which Ramirez came in well under. But Kipnis' season is done based on where we are in terms of the schedule and potential postseason. 3-2 the count. Santiago checks Reyes at second. Here comes his pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a breaking ball. 6 strikeouts now for Hector Santiago, and there's 1 away in this top half of the 5th inning. Another player to keep an eye on, Corey Kluber, continues to throw on flat ground. He was out there extending that a bit again today as he continues to push things along, but no word yet on how far along he may be, how far away he may be. Obviously, that would be something to consider in the postseason. Mike Freeman steps in and takes a pitch down low for ball one. Your challenge is there. You just wouldn't have a chance to face hitters in a game situation if indeed things were to come around on that oblique issue that he's been trying to come back from. Now the 1-0 to Freeman. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Freeman's 1 for 2 tonight. He has flied to center and singled in 2 trips. And they're at second base again tonight. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, looped foul off to the left side behind the White Sox dugout. Here on the third base side. Boy, what a night for baseball. Looks like the same holds true for tomorrow. Night game for the series finale Thursday as well. That'll be another 8:10 first pitch. And the Indians head to our nation's capital for the weekend. And the final 3 games of the regular season that could mean everything for this ball club in terms of the postseason. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for Santiago. His 7th. Back to the top of the lineup for Francisco Lindor, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Runner at second base, Franmil Reyes, led off the inning with the double. Tribe Baseball is always live with MLB At Bat. You can follow the action with game tracking, live radio, and much, much more. It's your #1 app for Tribe Baseball. MLB At Bat. Here's the pitch to Lindor. Swung on, line drive, left field, base hit. Headed to third, being held there is Reyes as the throw comes in. And Lindor is aboard with a 2-out single. And the Indians have runners on the corners now. So Lindor gets into the hit column. He's now 1 for 4. And Oscar Mercado steps in. Tribe up 8-0. We're in the 5th. The damage came early. A Jose Ramirez grand slam in the first inning got it started in his first game back in a month. And Perez with a home run in the second. And Ramirez struck again, a 3-run blast in the third. And that has been plenty for Mike Clevenger. Now here's Mercado with a chance to pad that lead with runners on the corners and 2 down. Right-handed hitting center fielder. 0 for 3 tonight. The pitch to him. Low and in for ball 1. Mercado with that huge tie-breaking home run in the game Sunday night back home, the home season finale for the Indians, who are on their way to the big win over Philly. The 1-0, that misses inside, and the count's now 2-0 on Mercado. On the out-of-town scoreboard, we're in the top half of the 8th inning down in St. Pete. Yankees and Rays still tied at 1. Now the 2-0. Low and in for ball 3. Boy, you wonder if Santiago's a little arm weary at this point, up to 86 pitches now. The 3-0 pitch coming to Mercado. It's on its way. There's a strike on the outside corner, and it's 3-1 on Oscar Mercado. What a rookie season it has been for him, and he went through his struggles after the All-Star break in the month of August, but he is finishing strong. The 3-1 swung on, and there's a high fly ball deep left center. This one's hit well way back there. Home run, Mercado! Oscar Mercado with his 15th home run. A 3-run blast. And the Indians continue to pile on the White Sox. It is now 11-0 Tribe. And Mercado now with the most home runs by an Indians rookie since Ben Francisco hit 15 back in 2008. And Mercado's power really starting to take hold here as we get deeper down the stretch. Here's Carlos Santana, the pitch to him. low and in for ball one. Santana tonight has walked and struck out twice. Here's the pitch. Swung on, line drive, foul down the line left side. Well, there is still no activity in that White Sox pen, as Santiago's at 91 pitches and really laboring through this fifth inning. Here comes his 1-1 to Santana. Swung on, fouled off at home plate. And the count moves to 1-2. The White Sox had a day off yesterday, as did the Indians, so their bullpen should be decently rested, but they're trying to really extend Santiago with this game out of reach. 11-0 Indians here in the fifth. The pitch. Waved at and missed. Santana chased a high fastball outside the zone. He strikes out. The side is retired, but 3 more on the board.
1100 can now be heard on 106.9 FM.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You are listening to the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
Rob Bailey in the newsroom. House launching impeachment inquiry into President Trump. More after the game on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton back with you at Chicago's Southside Ballpark, where the Indians are leading it by a score of 11-0. Nick Hebner, our on-site engineer, and Brian Matze back at Command Center. Mike Clevenger with a good one going, and his first pitch is a fastball outside to Yolmer Sanchez. He has a ton of runs to work with, and he has held the White Sox scoreless so far on just 3 hits. The 1-0 is in there for a strike to Sanchez, who popped to third his first time up. Daniel Palka is next. Then the top of the lineup, Leori Garcia. Next pitch on the outside corner for a strike. And it's quickly 1-2 on Sanchez. Defensive change for the Tribe at third base. Yu Chang is come on, replacing Jose Ramirez. And the next pitch called strike 3 on the inside corner. Sanchez caught looking. 8th strikeout for Mike Clevenger. Time for the Bedford Nissan memorable moment, brought to you by the Nissan team. Not only Bedford Nissan, but also Mentor Nissan. And boy, who can forget this date back in 2013, one of the great moments in Progressive Field history, as the pitch to Daniel Palka is swung on and popped up on the first base side of the infield. Settling under it is Carlos Santana, who makes the catch. And just like that, it's 2 up, 2 down. Clevenger continues to roll. But that was the night Giambi came to the plate. Indians trying to stay in the hunt for a wild card spot. And he hit a pinch hit, walk-off 2-run home run. And the Indians beat the White Sox that night, part of a 10-game win streak to close the season and help the Indians reach the postseason that year. Jason Giambi's home run, one of the great moments in Progressive Field history, no question. Leori Garcia, the batter, takes strike 1. Boy, Mike Clevenger just sailing along. Be interesting to see how the Indians play this with Clevenger, whose pitch count very reasonable. That was his 60th pitch. He's into the line, the 0-1. And that's outside, 1-1. He has a 3-hit shutout going into the 5th inning. Indians lead 11-0. Here's the pitch, and Garcia chops it to first. Easy play for Santana, who steps on the bag in time for the out.
Well, it's all Cleveland tonight, pulverizing the Chicago White Sox by a score of 11-0. Carson Fulmer started, went 1 inning, gave up 4 runs on Jose Ramirez's grand slam down the right field line in his first at bat after being out a month with that broken hamate bone surgery. And Hector Santiago's been on since, and in 4 innings, Santiago has given up 7 runs. He'll face Yasiel Puig, who has 2 doubles and a single. The line, the pitch, and Puig takes outside a ball. Puig now, in the last 8 games, has 16 hits and 30 at-bats. Well over 500. The wind and pitch, and it's up high, a ball. 2-0. He had a huge at-bat in that first inning. Yep, Ramirez got the grand slam, but that inning could have been over before Ramirez ever got a chance to bat. The pitch, and he waves at it. 2-1. Hi again, everybody. Tom Hamilton back with you, along with Jim Rosenhaus on a beautiful Chicago night. With 2 down, nobody on, Carlos Santana walked, and then Yasiel Puig had a 10-pitch at bat, resulting with a single to right. Now the pitch. Puig fouling it to the upper deck behind the plate. 2-2. Jordan Luplow followed with a walk, and then Jose Ramirez, a grand slam down the right field line. Roberto Perez swatted a solo homer to left in the second, and then Ramirez was at it again in the third. The 2-2. Puig lays off high, full count. Jose Ramirez in the third in his second at bat, this time right-handed, pummeled a 3-run homer to left. Ramirez tonight went 2 for 3, 2 homers, a career high 7 RBIs. Now the payoff, fouled back by Puig, will do it again at 3-2. Oscar Mercado added a 3-run homer to left center in the 5th, and the Indians have hit 2 3-run homers, 1 grand slam, and 1 solo homer tonight. Those 4 home runs accounting for the 11 runs scored. Now the payoff pitch inside, and Puig's perfect night continues with Santiago's 3rd walk. Meanwhile, the White Sox have no chance offensively tonight because Mike Clevinger has his A game. He is throwing a shutout through 5 innings, and Clevinger has struck out 8 and walked 1. That's your Northern Ohio Ford Dealers game summary. Ford, America's best-selling brand.
1100.
Results may vary.
Now the Indians will face a relief pitcher named Jimmy Cordero, the right-hander coming on the pitch. It's all Cleveland tonight, with the Indians pulverizing the White Sox here by a score of 11-0. And so Cordero gets a chance to pitch, and Jimmy Cordero comes into this ball game tonight. So far this season, Cordero is working in appearance number 28 overall. All but 1 has been with Chicago. No decisions, a 3.19 ERA. So here's Cordero. He'll face a pinch hitter for Jordan Luplow, as Jake Bauers will get a rare at bat. He's not played much since coming back from Columbus, and when he has played, quite frankly, hasn't swung the bat very well. Bradley Zimmer's also on to pinch run. So Yasiel Puig's night is done as well. Here's the set and the pitch, and it's a Bauers pop-up into shallow left. Moncada, the third baseman, retires him, so Jake Bauers continues to struggle. So the Indians have 1 out and a runner on. We're in the 6th inning, and Cleveland leading this game by a score of 11-0. We gave you how the first 5 innings went before. And now Jimmy Cordero, the 3rd relief pitcher to work for the White Sox. Yu Chang, his first at bat. Jose Ramirez night coming to an end, and that pitch down low, a ball. And great way to break Jose Ramirez back in. He missed a month, had the broken hamate bone in the right wrist area, had the surgery, and he comes back tonight after being out a month. And the pitch is fouled upstairs, 1-1. And all he does is hit a grand slam down the right field line in the first inning in his first at bat, batting left-handed. Turned around, batted right-handed in his second at bat, and hit a ball even harder, a 3-run homer to left. Struck out his other time up. He'll get the rest of the night off. The pitch swung on, broken back grounder to second. Sanchez to second one. Anderson with a little fancy flip over to first to complete the double play on Yu Chang. And that'll take. Well, the Indians have an outfield now. Bradley Zimmer in right, Oscar Mercado in center, and Jake Bowers in left. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning, and Mike Clevenger with an 11-0 lead. He'll face Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu, and Yoan Moncada. Anderson trying to win a batting title, which obviously would be his first, and he takes up and in, turning out of the way. He has struck out and has an infield single. Started the night with a 5-point lead and a .334 batting average, 5 better than DJ LeMahieu. He waves at Clevenger's next pitch, and the count 1-1. Last year, Anderson batted .240. This year, .334. He takes underneath his arms, ball 2, 2-1. Frank Thomas won the batting title in 1997. And Luke Appling won it twice, 1936, 1943. They're the only White Sox to win a batting title. Anderson with a bomb to center. Back is Mercado. On the track, near the wall, makes the catch. Anderson gave it a ride, but a long out. To the wall in center. Here's Jose Abreu with a strikeout and a ground out. See how far Clevenger goes tonight. He has 8 strikeouts and a walk. He only made 8 pitches in the 5th inning. He's now at 66 pitches here in the 6th inning, so that's tremendous. The pitch to Abreu, and it's high, ball 1. Clevenger does not have a complete game this year, and doubtful with this kind of a score he'll get one tonight. Really no reason to push him. The pitch, and it's in there, strike, 1-1. If you're shipping from Cleveland or through Cleveland, choose Global Transport, Northeast Ohio's preferred provider for transportation and logistics management. Now the pitch, swung on a liner to left, base hit near the line, and it'll go all the way to the wall. And Abreu has his 36th double. So that is hit number 4 off Mike Clevenger. That'll bring up Yoan Moncada batting left-handed. A strikeout, grounded out. Well, the Minnesota Twins' magic number is down to 2 to clinch the title. They beat Detroit tonight 4-2. Tampa and New York are tied at 1. They're in the bottom of the 9th inning in St. Pete. Oakland is in Anaheim tonight, just underway. Milwaukee has now won 16 of its last 18 games. Brewers are going to be back in postseason. They beat Cincinnati 4-2 tonight. Beat Sonny Gray. Here's the pitch, and it's in there, strike. The Brewers have won 5 in a row, 16 out of 18. They're the second wild card team. 1 more loss than the wild card leading Washington Nationals. Now the pitch to Moncada, and it's swung on, banged up the middle on 1 hop behind second. Lindor gloves it, throws it, and Moncada is out number 2. And now Eloy Jimenez. Washington beat Philly in game 1 of a day-nighter, 4-1. Nightcap tied for a while, but now Washington leads Philly 6-5 in the 9th. The Cubs are getting plastered by Pittsburgh, 9-2 in the 9th. So the Cubs will lose, and so the Cubs will lose their 7th in a row. Here is Eloy Jimenez, 0 for 2. And it's low a ball. And if Washington wins both ends of the doubleheader, they're about to, they being Washington, have clinched one of the 2 wild card playoff spots in the National League. Boy, and the Cubs are just abysmal. The pitch, swing and a miss, 1-1. Well, they know they're not making the playoffs. They know Joe Maddon's probably getting fired. They know how angry our engineer, Nick Hepner, is. You put that all together, it's hard to perform on the field. Nick kind of was the tipping point.
Will he show up tomorrow night and help us through?
Oh, yeah, he's now an Indians fan.
Oh, good.
Yep. Now the 1-1. A swing and a foul back, 1-2. He just put his Cubs World Series ring on eBay. So
I still can't believe we used him during that series.
I was really impressed with Nick.
Yes.
Born, raised, diehard Cubs fan, engineering for the Indians in the World Series, and not a peep. You never would have known he was a Cubs fan. That's a true pro. Now the set. Now the 1-2 to Jimenez. A swing and a foul upstairs. Still a ball and 2 strikes. And a guy that would probably be the rookie of the year in any other season if it weren't for Yordan Alvarez with Houston. As a rookie, Jimenez, 30 home runs. Pretty darn impressive. Now the set and the 1-2 pitch. Bounced it in there, ball 2, 2-2. In fact, Jimenez is only the 3rd Chicago White Sox rookie to get 30 homers. The others, Jose Abreu in 2014, and Ron Kittle, as a rookie, had over 30 homers in 1983. Saw Ron Kittle tonight before the ball game, lives outside Chicago. The pitch, down low, full count. Nothing's changed with Kitty. He said he was coming to the ballpark earlier this summer and almost got here, and somebody said, White Sox played a day game. I said, oh. Turned around and went home, which isn't fun in Chicago traffic. Payoff. Swing and a miss. Jimenez chased one down in the dirt. And it is just a mammoth night for Clevenger. He has now struck out 9. And Chicago, nothing. Jose Ramirez back after the broken hamate bone surgery, out a month. First at bat, a grand slam down the right field line. Second at bat, a 3-run homer to left. Jose Ramirez, the first Indians player with 7 RBIs in the first 3 innings of a game since Vic Wirtz in 1957. Now the set and the pitch. Reyes takes a strike. And for the Indians, tonight, the first time in club history that they've hit multiple 3-run homers and a grand slam in the same game. Now the 0-1. Swung on, rolled up the middle, behind second, flipped from Sanchez to Anderson, throw to first, got him. What a play. Sanchez, the second baseman, going to his right, up the middle, making that play behind the bag, flipped it to Anderson, the shortstop, who threw to first to get Reyes. So Reyes, 1 for 4 with a double. But the Indians had never had multiple 3-run homers and a grand slam in the same game. Here is Roberto Perez, 2 for 3, solo homer and a single. Right-hander against right-hander. Tribe 11 runs, 11 hits. White Sox no runs, 4 hits. Jimmy Cordero's ready. His first pitch, up and in, a ball. Yasiel Puig had 2 doubles, a single, and a walk tonight. Jordan Luplow had 3 walks and scored twice. That pitch down low, 2-0. Oscar Mercado, 3-run homer to left. Roberto Perez, solo homer to left. And Jose Ramirez, grand slam to right, 3-run homer to left. The 2-0. Inside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Yep, they'll go to the 10th inning in St. Pete. New York and Tampa Bay tied at 1. Told you Minnesota beat Detroit. They got 4 in the 7th tonight. Minnesota beat Detroit 4-2. That pitch is strike, 3-1. Spencer Turnbull lost. He's 3-16 for the Tigers. Jake Odorizzi got his 15th win. Twins' magic number to win the division title, down to 2. The pitch, swung on, fouled upstairs, full count. Oakland didn't score in the first. They're playing in Anaheim. Over in the National League, it's over. Washington gets to celebrate with Bryce Harper watching. The pitch. Swing by Perez and a floater to shallow right. Coming in is Daniel Polka to grab it, 2 down. Bryce Harper left Washington to join Philly. And Washington today took both ends of a doubleheader from Philadelphia and clinched one of the wild card playoff spots with the Cubs losing. Washington is officially in. Milwaukee is all but in as the Brewers win 4-2, but they stay behind Washington. The pitch swung on and a rocket to left field. Base hit Mike Freeman. He is 2 for 4. So Washington now is 88-69, and Milwaukee is 87-70. So one game still separates those two clubs. And remember, home field advantage is what's at stake. They're the two clubs that are playing in the wild card, Milwaukee and Washington. If they end up with the same record, Milwaukee has home field advantage due to the tiebreaker. Washington must finish a game better than Milwaukee to host the wild card game. Frankie Lindor takes way inside, ball 1. There's really no drama in the National League here in the last week.
Isn't that incredible? You kind of figured with the 2 wild cards that would spice things up a lot, but it seems the division races the past couple of years have not had much.
Here is the set, and here is the 1-0 to Lindor, and it's swung on, fouled upstairs, 1-1. Lindor, 2 strikeouts, a ground out, and a single. Tribe 11, White Sox nothing. 7th inning, runner on with 2 down. What Milwaukee's done, going 16-2 without Christian Yelich, is mind-boggling. The 1-1. Inside corner is strike 1 and 2, and they beat a good pitcher tonight, Sonny Gray. Interesting National League wild card game. It's a shame Yelich won't be healthy, but Washington's had their bumps and bruises too. But nothing like losing a guy like Yelich. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on a high bouncer back up the middle and behind second, gloved again by Sanchez. Flipped to Anderson at second for the force. Boy, Anderson got there about the same time as Freeman, but it'll be. Well, Ryan Flaherty is now coming on to play third, and Yu Chang will move over to short. So the Indians able to get Lindor, Ramirez, Puig all out of this ballgame. Bottom of the 7th, and a dominant performance by Mike Clevenger looking for win number 13. Clevenger, he's in line to pitch the finale Sunday in Washington, a game that, well, you would sure think the Indians would need to win. Here is the pitch to Zach Collins, in there, strike. Shane Bieber goes tomorrow night. He'd be in line to pitch Monday if he had to have a play-in game. The 0-1, waved at. 0-2 the count on Zach Collins. Here's the next delivery. a swing and a foul upstairs, still 0-2. I mean, the Indians are going to win their 93rd game tonight. The Indians could win out. Tampa could win out. And somebody with 98 wins wouldn't get into the playoffs. Can you imagine that? The pitch, it's high, 1-2. I mean, somebody with minimum mid-90s isn't getting into the playoffs.
We were talking in the dugout. Mike Chernoff, the general manager, was saying 95's probably not going to get in. 95, it's going to be more.
The 1-2 outside, 2-2. 95 doesn't
No.
get you a sniff.
Nope. Amazing.
What a terrible season. 95.
GMs work their rear ends off to put a 95-win club together, and it sends them home.
The pitch. Swung on a little looping liner into shallow right, and it drops. Boy, Bradley Zimmer played that cautiously. He's not going to dive or do anything foolish now with that shoulder. Here's James McCann. Indians went to the World Series in 97. They won 86 games and won the division title that year. You never know. Here's James McCann. McCann has struck out twice, right-handed hitting catcher. He bats with a runner on. The Indians dominating 11-0. They lead Chicago. McCann takes a deep breath, then climbs in, deep in the box, slightly open stance. Lays that bat on the back shoulder. Now he raises it, and he pops it up. First ball swinging. Shallow right center. Freeman, the second baseman, makes the catch. That is out number one. Here's Yolmer Sanchez, switch hitter batting left-handed. Has popped up, struck out. Now the White Sox down 11-0. They're not exactly working the count. They're up there hacking from the get-go. Why not get this baby over? Manager Rick Renteria was giving one of those good old college rah-rah speeches, which always usually fall flat in baseball. The pitch swung on, foul down the left side. You get his point. Hey, we're building a foundation. We need to finish the year strong to set a tone for next year. Well, in the last month, they're 8-17. And the pitch up high, 1-1. They could win out, and it wouldn't mean a hill of beans when the season starts next March. There's no carryover. There's no momentum gained by playing in September when you're a club like Chicago playing for nothing. The pitch swung on, drilled pretty well to left. Bowers turns two different ways, now dives and makes the catch. A routine fly ball turns into, look what I got. 2 down. And I get why you want your club to play hard. We understand all of that, but you kind of lose credibility when you say, this is a springboard into next season. No, it's not. You're playing minor leaguers a lot of the time.
And you look at what they've accomplished this September. They have a shortstop who's having a great season. He's finishing strong. Moncada's made great strides. I think that's what you look at.
Here's Daniel Polka, 2 pop-ups, fouls off the first pitch. I mean, the bottom line is they have 6 more wins than they had last year at this time.
And they can't translate into wins and losses right now. They just don't have enough pitching. They are running out of pitching and just trying to get through to the end of the season.
They've got a few nice players, but this is proof again. Rebuilding doesn't have a given formula. Here's the 0-1 up high, 1-1. This is year 3 of the rebuild. This is supposed to be the year that you're much closer to a 500 ball club. Well, they're going to be 20 games under 500 after tonight. Not saying they're not getting better. It's just you can't put it into some kind of a time frame. The pitch swung on, fouled back, and say, okay, by year 3, we're going to be close to 500. Year 4, we're above 500. Year 5, we're in the playoffs. That sounds great. Never works that way.
And he was pretty outspoken about the need to go outside the organization to get some help for next year, especially pitching-wise.
Now the set, Now the 1-2 pitch to Polka. Tribe up 11-0. And he waves at it. And Clevenger has another double-digit strikeout game. That's 10 strikeouts for Clevenger. And that's his 7th 10-strikeout game. Manny Banuelos is coming on to pitch. Adam Engel plays in center. And Ryan Goins is going to play at short for the rest of this ball game. The Indians have an 11-0 lead over the Chicago White Sox. By the way, when we gave you the scores before, they were brought to you by Ram Trucks. Powers the all-new Ram 1500 and the new Ram 3500. Hurry into Ram Power Days for great deals on the most powerful lineup with the most horsepower of any full-size truck. Good game by Jimmy Cordero. He went 2 scoreless, gave up a hit. Carson Fulmer started, gave up the grand slam to Jose Ramirez in the 1 inning he worked. Hector Santiago gave up 7 runs in 4 innings, including 3 home runs. Banuelos to Oscar Mercado. He checks and takes a pitch high, ball 1. Mercado, he had a 3-run blast to left center in the 5th. That made it what it is now, 11-0. Jose Ramirez tonight, in his return, a grand slam and a 3-run homer. The pitch, Mercado with a drive into deep center. Back goes Engel. He's got it measured, 1 down. That'll bring up Carlos Santana. How about a game in which the Indians have scored 11 runs and Frankie Lindor and Carlos Santana, between the two of them, have 1 hit and 5 strikeouts, and the Indians lead 11-0. Santana walked in that first and has struck out the other 3 times. He'll swing it right-handed. Manny Banuelos delivering, and the pitch is in there, called strike. 11-0 Indians, 8th inning, 1 out, nobody on. The pitch, Santana pops one into shallow center. It's a convention out there. The center fielder, Engel, puts it away, 2 down. Now Bradley Zimmer came on to pinch run and stayed in right. Bradley Zimmer, who has spent this entire year basically in Goodyear. We love Goodyear for spring training. Phenomenal. But Goodyear in August, when it's 118 degrees and they've got those, like, tornado dust storms. Ooh.
Nasty.
Not enough margaritas and Chili's. Here's the pitch to Bradley Zimmer, and it's outside a ball.
I don't know how the tires don't stick to the pavement out there at 118.
Well, and if you don't have something on the inside of your windshield. You're at the emergency room. They're going, sir, you need to come in so the doctor can see you. Well, my hands have melted to the steering wheel. Zimmer grounds one to second, booted by Sanchez. Zimmer is on with the air. Routine ground ball that's booted. Now Jake Bauers popped up his first time. Yeah, that should be standard equipment.
You would
in
think.
Arizona, that inside the windshield cover, so they keep the sun off the steering wheel in the interior so you don't fry when you go into a car.
I know they play at night, but those kids out in the Arizona Summer League, by the end of August, must be, all right.
It's 109 at 7 o'clock at night.
That's enough.
But it's a dry heat. Here is Jake Bauers taking down and away ball 1.
So is an oven.
Yeah. It's like,
those kids. Oof. Well, they're young, right?
they are, and you know what? They're living their dreams. Now the 1-0 pitch. Outside a ball, 2-0. Tribe up 11-0 here in the 8th inning. Runner on with 2 down. Anyway, it's been a long year for Bradley Zimmer rehabbing. He's just happy to be healthy playing again. Yankees Tampa still tied at 1, 11th inning. Now the pitch to Bowers. Down and away, 3-0. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but this is a big winner for Jake Bowers. He's going to have to make some adjustments, or he'll find himself in Columbus at the start of next year.
I know he was excited to get back here, and he felt he had made some adjustments, but it hasn't shown in his play as yet.
The 3-0. Bullseye, 3-1. Well, now, all of a sudden, you got Bradley Zimmer coming back. You've got Greg Allen. Oscar Mercado's playing somewhere. Hopefully you get Tyler Naquin back from that reconstructive knee surgery. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on a broken bat flare toward the second baseman, caught by Sanchez. And Daniel Johnson knocking on the door down below. I mean, time doesn't wait. Now the Indians will bring on Dan Otero. And they'll put Greg Allen in left, Jake Bowers at first. Eric Haas to catch. Well, what a job by Mike Clevenger. He just flat out dominated the White Sox tonight. 11-0 Indians, 8th inning. Clevenger went 7 shutout innings, 5 hit baseball, struck out 10, walked 1. Otero delivers low, ball 1 to the leadoff man, Adam Engel. He took over in center. It's going to look like a spring training card before the game is over. Engel sends a little flare into center, base hit. Now the guy that took over at shortstop, Ryan Goins. His first at bat. 11-0 Indians. Mike Clevenger's next outing would be Sunday in our nation's capital. Shane Bieber goes tomorrow night. He'd be in line to start the play-in game Monday if there's such a scenario. That pitch low, ball 1. Say the Indians had to win Sunday, and you almost think that they're going to have to. Here's the set. And the 1-0 swung on, bounced foul right side, 1-1. It's just hard to envision any scenario that has the Indians not needing to win on Sunday to get into the playoffs. Well, if you have to win on Sunday, you're sending next to Verlander and Cole, and really maybe not next to them, but alongside them. Clevenger's the most dominant pitcher in the American League this year. That pitch waved at 1-2. Then if you've got the play-in game on Monday, or if you don't, and you go right straight to the wild card game on Wednesday, we've got Shane Bieber lined up to start that game. So you're in pretty darn good shape when you look ahead at what could potentially occur.
And of the teams headed to the postseason or trying to get there in the American League, aside from the Astros, I think that 1-2 punch of the Indians is as good as anybody.
Now the pitch to Goins, waved at, check that. That's strike 3. Otero gets the strikeout. And Aaron Savali has made 9 Major League starts and not given up more than 2 runs in any start. Now he's a rookie.
Yes.
And you're talking about the playoffs, but nothing else has phased him.
All right. It doesn't seem like that would bother him.
No.
You never know till you get there, but nothing's bothering him so far.
Here's Jose Abreu, 1 for 3 with a double. Now, you do like the Indians pitching if they can get to October. That pitch down low, ball 1. Boy, you just wish Corey Kluber could be a part of it, but that's not going to happen. He's tried everything to get back, but he's just run out of time, unfortunately. He's not even close to throwing bullpens yet, so Corey won't be a part of it. That pitch in there, 1-1, but Corey Kluber did everything in his power to get back, but sometimes there's just too many hurdles to overcome. But now you've got a 1-2 punch in the back end of the bullpen in Carlos Carrasco and Brad Hand. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Abreu, and he swings and misses, 1-2. I would venture to say there isn't a team that would look forward to having to face the Indians pitching come October.
And yeah, you can say that if they get in, they fly in under the radar. I don't think so. I think other teams recognize that for sure.
Well, and they've been the third best team in baseball since June. That pitch swung on and missed. Abreu chased one. Second strikeout for Otero. 2 down in the 8th. 11-0 Indians. Just barely, Oakland and Atlanta have had better records than the Indians since June 4th. So that's basically the last 4 months of the year. It's been Oakland, Atlanta, and Cleveland, the 3 best teams in baseball. That's a long time to be good. 2 down, Yohan Moncada, 0 for 3, batting left-handed, taps it to the mound. Otero gloves it. He'll flip it over to first. Good inning for the lead over the Chicago White Sox. As the White Sox, Manny Banuelos will try to finish it up here in the 9th. If you're just joining us, you missed the return of Jose Ramirez. That was beyond anybody's wildest dreams. First at bat in the first inning, batting left-handed, grand slam down the right field line. Second at bat in the third inning, batting right-handed, 3-run bomb to left. How about that? His first 7 RBI game. Here's Yu Chang, the pitch. A swing and a foul upstairs, strike 1. Chang takes down low. And the count 1-1. $11 to nothing Indians, 9th inning. The pitch to Chang, who hit into a double play his only time up, and he fouls it back. And the count 1-2. To get your best deal on any new or used car, go to Sunnyside Toyota in North Olmsted, or check out all of their inventory and current specials online at sunnysidetoyota.com. Now the set. Now the 1-2 pitch. Inside and low, 2-2. The next offering, fouled back by Chang, still 2-2. Now the pitch. Down and in. Full count. Tribe 11. White Sox nothing. 9th inning. And the next delivery is swung on and lifted foul down the left side. We'll do it again at 3-2. Washington, with their sweep of Philly, clinched one of the wild card spots, and Milwaukee, with its win over Cincinnati, has a magic number of 1 to clinch the other wild card spot. The payoff, swing and a miss. Chang strikes out on the heater, and Welos gets his first. So it's all but official. Milwaukee and Washington will play Tuesday night in the National League wild card game. Right now, Washington, as we'll get a pinch hitter, Kevin Plawecki, will bat for Franmil Reyes. Reyes tonight 1 for 4 with a double. Plawecki, right-handed hitter. He's had a nice year as the Indians' backup catcher. And the pitch to him, outside and high, ball 1. So the National League wild card game will be Tuesday night. Milwaukee trails Washington by 1 game for the top spot. The pitch to Plawecki, and he drives it foul down the left side upper deck. 1-1. Washington must finish one game better than Milwaukee to host that game. If they finish with the same record, Milwaukee took 4 out of 6 from Washington. Thus, the Brewers would host Washington if they end the year with the same record. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Down and in, 2-1. There's a chance Milwaukee can bypass Washington because Max Scherzer is in line to pitch Sunday against the Indians. Washington is not going to start him against the Tribe. Here's the 2-1 pitch. High, 3-1. They want to be able to start Scherzer in the wild card game, have him backed up by Steven Strasburg. So I asked Terry Francona about that and Carl Willis, Rosie, before the game tonight. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded foul, third base side, full count. And said, Tito, what do you do in that spot? I mean, if you need Scherzer on Sunday to get home field, do you pitch him? He said, no. It'd be more important, he said, for me as a manager to have my guy pitch the wild card game on the road than not have him and play that game at home. Here's the payoff pitch. Up and in, ball 4, Plawecki walks. So while everybody would prefer to play the wild card game in their own park, not at the expense of losing a guy like Scherzer to try to nail down home field.
And how many times have you seen it? A good starting pitching performance takes a home crowd right out of the game and leads to a win. Madison Bumgarner, how many times did he do it on the road when the Giants were having their run?
Or an Alex Cobb 6 years ago in Cleveland.
You're not kidding.
So here's Eric Haas, his first at bat. Had another big home run year in Columbus. The pitch, and it's down and in, a ball. That's also why Tito said he wants a best of 3 in the wild card game, with all 3 games at the number 1 seeded wild card team, with a day-night doubleheader on one day and a single game the next day, if needed. The pitch, outside corner is strike 1-1. Then he said there's something to play for in the home field when you'd have all 3 at your place. And then the division series would go from a best of 5 to a best of 7. And whoever won the wild card game, now they've had to use some pitching, and they're behind the 8 ball going into the number 1 seed. The pitch swung on, fouled off. Left side 1-2 on Haas, because Tito said if you earned the top seed by what you did over 6 months, the wild card winner isn't punished enough going into that division series. In fact, a lot of times that one win springboards them, and we saw it with the Giants, we saw it with the Royals. There should be more punishment if you come through as a wild card winner, according to Tito. Here's the set and the pitch to Eric Haas, and the Indians catcher takes down and in, 2-2.
Now, there's something to be said in the American League this year. The division series doesn't start till Friday. There's a team sitting around for 4 days.
Yep.
Another team that wins, they've gotten a chance to play, stay hot, kind of on that roll that they've been on.
Almost playing with house money.
Yeah.
When you're the wild card team now. Here's the next delivery to Eric Haas, and he drives one deep to left but foul. Count stays 2-2. Indians stay up 11-0 in the 9th. And then Tito said, make it a 154-game schedule. You can make up the lost revenue with the additional playoff games, and you could start your playoffs a week earlier. Absolutely makes way too much sense for baseball to ever go that route. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, socked high in the air to center. Fairly deep, but playable. Engel will grab it. And Eric Haas is out number 2. Indians up 11-0. Runner at first, 2 down in the 9th. And Mike Freeman with a pair of singles in 4 trips. Let's pause 10 seconds for a station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
Rob Bailey in the newsroom. House launching impeachment inquiry into President Trump. More after the game on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
Tom Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Motze, and Nick Hepner with you in Chicago. 11-0 Tribe in the ninth. Freeman puts the souvenir into the third base seat, strike one. Nick Hepner, our outstanding engineer and lifelong Cubs fan, has been sobbing uncontrollably in the back of the booth for about an hour now. The Cubs were eliminated from the playoffs. Now the set. Now the 0-1 pitch. Down and away. 1-1. He took his Joe Madden doll and shaved the hair off of it. So
He says he's going to be a little late tomorrow. He's got to put some flowers over at Wrigley Field.
yeah, he's backed up the U-Haul to Joe's place. He's trying to move him out. He's a bitter Cubs fan. Pitch inside, ball 2. 2-1. Joe Madden's one of the great guys in the game. Tremendous manager. But, one thing about Theo Epstein, when you don't win the World Series, it's never Theo's fault. He fired Terry Francona after winning it twice. He'll fire Joe Madden after winning it 3 years ago. The pitch, and it's in there, a strike, 2-2 the count. There are some people that said Joe Madden may have been fired if he didn't beat the Indians in the World Series in 16. So, boy, that's not real easy working conditions, but so be it. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a little bloop foul down the third base side. Still 2-2. Indians up 11-0. Joe Madden will be hired within 5 minutes of being fired if he so desires.
And if it happens, where do you go if you're the Cubs? Who do you bring in?
You keep hearing David Ross, which I can't believe. I wouldn't be surprised if it's their bench coach, Mark Loretto.
Maybe it's Nick.
Could be. Now the 2-2 pitch to Freeman. Swing and a little dribbler foul. First base side still 2-2. How many teams might fire their current manager if Joe Madden's available? That's what happened to Rick Renteria with the Cubs.
Yeah.
He was the Cubs manager. Joe Madden left Tampa.
Well,
and it was thanks for the memories, Rick.
Would the Phillies do that if they haven't made that decision already?
Yeah. Phillies. San Diego has a vacancy. San Francisco has a vacancy. I think Joe will have a lot of options. Now the 2-2 to Freeman. Swing and a foul upstairs, still 2-2. And again, is there a team out there, Rosie, we're not thinking of that has a manager that we're not thinking of? That their GM might say, I can get Joe Madden?
Probably.
Let's start a rumor.
Yep.
With the White Sox.
Oh, could you imagine?
No. The pitch. Swing and a foul back. Good at bat for Freeman. Still 2-2.
Rick Renteria would just throw up his hands.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I don't know. I'm just, now you're just speculating. But. With the Angels? Here's the 2-2 to Freeman. Swing and a miss. Got him with a slider. Manuelos wins the battle. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Cleveland 11. Phil Maton is coming on to pitch as Dan Otero had a good inning. Worked a scoreless inning, gave up a hit. So Phil Maton will come on here in the ninth. Can the Indians pitch another shutout? I say another. They're the best at it in the American League. This would be number 16. Mike Clevenger set the bar pretty high again tonight as Maton's pitch to Eloy Jimenez misses ball 1. Clevenger went 7 shutout innings of 5-hit baseball and struck out 10. Now the pitch. Swung on line, foul down the right side. They've got the extended netting here down to the foul poles. It's the first time we've seen it here. And it's a great safety feature. 1-1 the count. Mike Clevenger now will win tonight to go to 13-3. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. A swing and a little bouncer up the middle. Behind second, glove by Freeman. Throws across the body and got Jimenez. Nice play, 1 down. Mike Clevenger is going to etch his name in the record book again. He'll be 8-0 in his last 8 road starts. How about that? Only 3 Cleveland pitchers have won 8 or more straight road starts. Bob Lemon in 1950, Bob Lemon in 1948, Addie Jose in 1909, and Guy Morton in 1916. There's a first pitch strike to Zach Collins, 2 singles and a walk. The last time Clevenger lost a game on the road was in Baltimore, June 28th. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's waved at 0-2. Think about that if you had him in a playoff game, which would obviously be on the road.
In Oakland next Wednesday night. I know that's a tough place to play, but you take your chances with him.
Now the pitch to Collins, and he takes high, 1-2. Oakland leads the Angels 2-0 in the 4th. Oakland's got to be sitting there, too, going, are you kidding? We can't even lock down the number 1 spot unless we win every night. Tampa Bay and New York 1-1 in the 12th. The pitch waved at, and that's a strikeout of Zach Collins. Indians pitchers have struck out 13 White Sox tonight. And the one thing about whatever happens tonight with Tampa and New York, Tampa has had to use a lot of pitching. Now, granted, expanded rosters and all of that. Tampa has used 9 pitchers tonight. Yankees, you've used 11. Here's Matt Skoll pinch hitting for James McCann. Takes ball 1.
Tampa used 9 last night as well.
Indians with an 11-0 lead, 9th inning, 2 outs, nobody on. The pitch to Skoll, and he fouls it straight back, 1-1 the count. Ninth inning, White Sox batting, 2 outs, nobody on base. Indians up 11-0. Jose Ramirez returned tonight with a grand slam and a 3-run homer. Now the set, now the pitch. Inside a ball, 2-1 the count. Here's the next offering. And it just missed low and away. I'll tell you one thing tonight. We haven't seen one person argue about the calls from home plate ump Brian O'Nora. Boy, that tells you something. Tells you how good he's been. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. And there's a called strike. And the string is out. G-Man Choi got a walk-off homer. Tampa beats New York 2-1 in 12. How about that? Well, they keep finding ways to win in dramatic fashion. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball game. Phil Maton completes the Indians' 16th shutout of the year. And the Indians destroy the Chicago White Sox tonight by a final score of 11-0 on the return of Jose Ramirez, who blasted a grand slam and a 3-run homer. The Indians will stay tied with Tampa Bay in the loss column in that second wild card spot as the Indians win 11-0.